Social media is very funny, especially when you're looking at content here on YouTube. So while I was away from making content, I still watched a lot that was going on. And there's so much content, especially in clothing, about, creators talking about how you can make all this money with your brand and how you can make, thousands of dollars in a month. And there's a lot of young, designers coming up that see this and start to believe it. And then when they try to do or implement what they see, it doesn't happen. They fail and they give up. I'm here to tell you, don't give up just because it didn't work. And I want to tell you why failing, isn't a failure. So let's discuss next how Making the Brand. What's up, everybody? Rob Norman here from Planet Brooklyn Academy, and this is Making the Brand, a series where I give you a little insight and knowledge on how to start a clothing brand, and if you already have one, how to make it better. As always, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything I drop when I drop it. So today's episode is dedicated to a young YouTuber that I caught just randomly going through content. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I will leave a link to his video below. So when I came across his video, he started talking about how watching all these YouTube videos on how to start a clothing line, and basically these other, YouTubers were talking about how they made all this money, quickly, and how you can make it, make thousands of dollars, with your first drop. And this YouTuber talks about how he followed and started making his line and tried to release it, and he had some success in the beginning, and then he went on and then totally failed. And he talks about his failure, and it was actually it was welcoming to see a video like his, because there's so many other videos out there talking about success, but not enough talking about the failures or people who didn't succeed. And it's important to see an even scale of things, because when you see so much of people talk about how much they make, online, you start to believe you can do that too. Not to say that you can't, and not to say that these YouTubers who are doing it are running game on you. A lot of them are achieving exactly what they did, but there are a lot of circumstances involved for that to happen. Sometimes it's the perfect storm that allows those certain individuals to achieve what they do in a month opposed to other people. But the idea that you've tried to do this and follow what they told you, and then you fail, isn't a reason for you to feel like, I gotta give up. I shouldn't do this anymore. Failing is not a failure. Now, I've been in the industry for a very long time, but when I started my very first t-shirt line, I failed. It failed right out the box. I had this idea for a t-shirt, swore like it was the best concept ever. And we're talking about social media. And I just knew I had a great idea. I thought it was great. And I knew that, people were going to buy this. So I created this t-shirt. Mind you, I didn't have the luxury of going on YouTube and seeing other people telling me how to print things and stuff like that. Everything I did was by trial and error. So I spent a bunch of money to get, like 5 dozen shirts, 5 dozen, shirt designs made. And I went to a trade show, set up a booth, and tried to sell my product there. After 2 days, do you not know, I only sold 2 shirts. Okay? Total letdown, because I just spent all this money, and in my head, I knew these shirts were going to blow. They were just going to sell like crazy. Sold 2. To this day, I think there's still boxes of it, like somewhere in my mother's house, in her closet somewhere, of stuff that I just couldn't get rid of, and I even gave stuff away. I think my mom uses it as like cleaning rags sometimes. But the whole point is that I swore I was going to be huge behind this, and it went nowhere. And it wasn't enough for me to say, all right, I give up. What I had to do was, once that happened, I had to go back and assess my situation. I had to look at what went wrong. I spoke to people. I showed people my product, asked them if they liked it. If they didn't like it, what was wrong with it? And then basically I had to go back to the drawing board and then retool what I did and then re-release it. Now the second time out, I did better. And every time I put another line out, it got better and better because I saw why maybe this colorway didn't sell over this other one, why this graphic worked over that graphic. Every time I'm doing something, it's you're basically starting from scratch every time you put out a line. So as a young designer out there looking to start, yes, take all the information you can from these other videos of, designers and creators that have brands that are making all this money. Take what you can, but also take it with a grain of salt. Understand that is a model that worked for them. You can take it and apply it to yourself, but you're gonna have to tweak it. You're gonna have to make it work for you. So what they did exactly will not work exactly for you. So again, you gotta borrow a little from here, borrow a little from there. And if it doesn't work, it's not a failure. It's just an opportunity for you to learn from your mistake and make it better on the next 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 version of your line. Never give up, okay? First time you don't succeed, what's the saying? Try again. A lot of you are giving up on the first try and not really giving yourself an opportunity to assess where you went wrong. The biggest mistake I'm seeing with a lot of brands is that, yes, you can make a lot of money coming out the gate, and a lot of you are trying to make all this money out the gate. But the real thing you got to think about is how many brands that you know of that were big 10 years ago are still around right now? How many of them that made a ton of money out the gate are around right now? Not many of them, because they're focused on making money and not building a brand. And that's what really this channel is about. I don't really talk to you guys about how to make $1 million in a year with your brand. I don't talk about that stuff. I talk about hard, cold facts of how to build a sustainable brand. How do you build it that you know that in 10 years you can still be doing this? You may not make a lot of money coming out the gate, but you'll be consistent and you'll constantly grow. And that's the question you got to ask yourself as a young, brand creator. Is that, do I want to create a brand that is going to grow over time? Something that I can constantly grow with? Or do I just want to make a quick buck and try to build this brand up as fast as I can and make as much money as I can? And then it's going to crash later. You got to think about that. If you think about it, then, whatever happens, the repercussions from those things are the things you got to live with. A lot of times, things that go up fast come down just as fast. Things that go up slowly continue to grow, and they go down slowly also, if ever. So again, think about a lot of things I've said in past videos. If you look at brands like, say, Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren has been around for a long time. Your generation, my generation, my mom's generation, they've been around. Why is that? It's because they didn't just suddenly try to flush a lot of money and throw a lot of stuff out there. They're just consistent. They just constantly build and do stuff like that. Then you think about other brands that have been out, before, that were just huge, and suddenly it's like, where are they now? You don't hear about them. They were huge 2 years ago. Now you don't hear a peep from them. That's because they were more about the money than building a brand. So again, when you build a brand, you're going to have failures, but you got to be willing to grow with them. If you're just in it for the fast buck and it crashes and you give up on it, it's always going to stay there. So my advice to you guys is that embrace the failure, embrace failing, embrace failing. It's an opportunity for you to learn from it. Don't give up, keep going. If it's a setback and you have to step back from it for a little while to, reassess your money and then come back with it, maybe you have to do a smaller, capsule, not as many pieces. Think about those things. But again, do not get in your head about failing. All right? If it happens, it happens. Pick yourself up, keep going. Try another line, try another colorway, try another graphic. Keep putting it out there. If you believe in your brand and your concept, people will believe in it as well. You just got to find the right vein. You just got to tap into the right vein. And once you tap into it, you're good. But you're not always going to find it on the first chance. All right? So I just want to make that quick video because I just really commend the young YouTuber who put out his video talking about his failures. And again, it's a nice balance to finally see someone talk about failing than succeeding and understanding where they went wrong. So again, stay proud of what you're doing and do not let failing be a failure for you. It's not a failure. All right? So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And if you haven't heard, Making the Brand, there is a book now I put out. So there's Making the Brand, the book. which gives you all the insight you need on how to build a brand properly. I'll leave a link in the description below. So until next episode, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.